chit-chatting. Thank you. Okay, there we go. All right, well, welcome to beautiful Niagara River here in Grand Island on this glorious, glorious summer-like day. We're thankful to be able to kick off Waterkeeper Weekend this week with this amazing announcement. Usually when we do the Waterkeeper Week, it's raining sideways and about 40 degrees out, so we'll take this. And we do love nature in all its forms, so we are going to embrace the Mother Nature blessing us with this hatch of bugs here feeding the ecosystem, so we'll just go with it. I also would like to thank all of the leaders and partners who are in attendance today. We are very excited to be here. My name is Jill Jedlicka. I'm the Executive Director of Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper. Joining me today at the podium are Assemblyman John Rivera. We have Dan Castle, who is the Greenway Committee Chair, Mark Mistretta, the Niagara Region Director of the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. That is a long title, Mark. Pete Marston, who's the Supervisor of the Town of Grand Island, and the Mayor of the City of Tonawanda, Bill Strasberg. Just thank you all for being here. I'd also like, before we dive in, to acknowledge kind of the folks behind the scenes who make this happen, and that's the members of the Waterkeeper team. We have an amazing group of professionals that do this work every day, and sometimes they get recognized, sometimes they don't, but I try really hard to make sure the light shines upon their work as well. So our senior program managers, Jean Biter and Catherine Winkler, who are responsible for implementing, and there's a big bee on me right now too, for implementing this program and this project. I am embracing it. We also want to acknowledge my colleagues Jarrett Steffen, Jen Fee, and Adam Zaremski, again, all of them working together to make this happen. Thank you. Okay. So, we certainly live in an amazing and a special place on the planet. Our community is squarely in the middle of the Great Lakes. It is the largest freshwater system in the world. And a resource of this significance requires significant care, protection, and understanding. And as we stand here, we are reminded that each one of us is dependent on the health of our Great Lakes resources for our own existence and our own bodies. If you look out there, 65% of your body is made up of that water out there. We are connected to it. And so our relationship with our local freshwater systems is complex. We drink them, we recreate on them, we navigate through them. They provide us sustenance, they support fish and wildlife, as you can see here. They contribute to local economies, and they give us peace of mind and occasional solace. And sometimes these natural systems can actually get angry and try to reclaim the lands and the damage that we've done, or even dare to be able to move beyond the artificial boundaries that humans have put them into. But we're working hard to make sure we have a strong relationship with these freshwater systems. In short, we are the Great Lakes. Our water defined our region's history, and it certainly will define our future. The original intent and vision of the Blueway network has always been to create opportunities for all residents and visitors to access, to learn more about, and to steward these waterways. We know that life thrives where water meets the land, and this is true in nature just as it is with human society. This initiative was launched nearly 10 years ago and was initially met with some skepticism. But through our diverse collaborations and targeted investments, Waterkeeper is demonstrating how this kind of work not only provides new and connected recreational opportunities, but also helping to grow the region's ecotourism efforts and inspires waterfront economic activity. So today we are here to announce that what first started as an effort to celebrate the restoration of the Buffalo River through increased public access is now expanding further into the Buffalo Niagara Blueway. The 10 sites that are either completed or under construction in Buffalo will now be joined by 15 newly connected locations along Lake Erie, the Niagara River, Woods Creek, Tonawanda Creek, and Ellicott Creek. And they're all evident here on this poster board over here. You can see the expansion of that Blueway network. This next phase of work is supported by 3 grants totaling more than $471,000 that Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper has pursued and secured in partnership with the Buffalo and Erie County Greenway Fund Standing Committee. So throughout this next season, the public will see continued improvements and changes at these 15 sites, including new interpretive signage to help guiders visit in this experience. And right here in Beaver Island, we actually have three 3 access points that are being connected to the Buffalo Niagara Blueway. There will be eventually new Blueway markers to help indicate access and egress points to and from the water wherever appropriate. There will be an update to the interactive website, which is buffaloblueway.com right now, to make it easier to plan a trip or for various visit the various communities. And because water access means different things to different people, there will be an overall increase in the diverse use of these access points and connectivity of these sites for things like hiking and birding, fishing, wildlife viewing, launching a paddlecraft, birding, environmental education, or simply just spending time with friends and family near the water. Our work and collaborations at these sites continue to demonstrate how the region can leverage its shared and connected water identity through coordinated public access while reinforcing the importance of environmental restoration and protection. So we are grateful for our partners, including New York State Parks, Erie County Parks, the town of Grand Island, the city of Tonawanda, the town of Tonawanda, and the city of Buffalo, all who have been incredibly supportive and pleasure to work with in this process. And this next phase of work couldn't have become a reality without the support of these partners and the funding committee. And on behalf of the entire community, we are thankful. So we will continue to pursue funding and opportunities to physically enhance access sites and integrate even more into this regional Buffalo Niagara Blueway network. So it is my pleasure now to introduce some of our partners and special guests. First off will be Assemblyman John Rivera to share a few words.
Thank you. It is a beautiful day to be in Grand Island, beautiful day to be in Western New York. I am so happy to be here. I've had the good fortune of working with Waterkeeper for years now. Just a few weeks ago, we announced the securing of additional grant funding. And let me tell you, the folks in this organization, they do incredible work, incredible work. We have a beautiful asset in Western New York that sometimes, if you're from around here, you tend to take for granted because you tend not to think much about it. It's right in our backyard, but the Great Lakes are a special place, and it's not just part of our history, but truthfully it's part of our future. And we know that it was always a draw for people really all over the world to come see Western New York, but we know that as long as we are good stewards of it, as long as we're maintaining it, for generations to come, people will continue to come from all over the world to see Western New York. And anything that we can do in creating connections across all of our really unique special points along the waterways here is only a good thing. We are going to embrace our waterfront, and we're doing it in ways that are not just safe, not just clean, but really shedding light on how unique and special our waterways are. So again, I want to thank Jill and her folks at Waterkeeper for all the incredible work that they do, and I'm excited to see this and all the things that they have coming ahead. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And before I bring up our next speaker, Dan Castle, who's our Greenway Committee Chair, just a reminder that through this work, and the Assembly member mentioned it, not only is it about getting people to access the water, but it's also being committed to our core mission, which is really to protect and restore the quality of our water and health of ecosystems in the region, all while connecting people to water. So when we ask Western New Yorkers when they access these Blueway sites and who use them, please do so responsibly. If you are accessing the water, please be aware of weather and environmental conditions, as well as follow the rules of the road and always wear your personal flotation device if you're accessing the water. Help us be eyes on the water, and don't discard your trash or fishing gear or anything else along the shoreline. Last year we launched an effort with the park system on our beach buckets, which you can actually see here at the entrance here to Grand Island. So please help us out. They've been a great success so far. Keep that going. And finally, be respectful to the wildlife populations and other people who are using these sites for different purposes. These public trust resources belong to all of us, and they belong to none of us. So let's all work together to keep them clean. So now I'd like to introduce Dan Castle. He is the Greenway Committee Chair and the Erie County Representative. And the Erie County Department of Environment and Planning Commissioner.
Thank you, Jill. If you've spent any time in the Adirondacks, you know what the Adirondack salute is. And I tell you, I'll definitely take sandflies over blackflies any day. So definitely a beautiful day to be here along the Niagara River. Back in 2007, believe it or not, the Buffalo Niagara County Greenway Fund Standing Committee was created. 2006 was the preparation of the Greenway Plan, just about 20 years ago, which came out of the relicensing settlement for the Niagara Hydro Project, where New York Power Authority agreed to set aside $2 million a year for 50 years to fund projects along the Niagara River within the Greenway, just like this. The intent and the mission of our standing committee is to award funding to projects that improve the public access, enjoyment, and use of the waterway, the Niagara River waterway, and the Greenway system. And you know, in the preceding time since 2007, our standing committee has awarded nearly $38 million, 19 years, $38 million, 115 different projects throughout the up and down the Niagara River and Greenway. It's really an impressive record, and that's just this one standing committee. So it's really nice to stand here today and see the results. You know, when we provide funding, you know, with this project, we started in 2024 with a planning grant, 2025 with money for the signage, and just recently, earlier this year, awarded money for the trail markers in these 15 locations. And it really was a very deliberate ask on behalf of the waterkeeper to segment this and do it in pieces and get input along the way. And it's really, you know, exactly the type of project that we want to promote as we look forward to the next 30 years of the standing committee as well. I would also say, on behalf of my day job, as Jill said, as Commissioner of Planning, Environment Planning for Erie County, my colleague Troy Sinzel, the Parks Commissioner, couldn't be here today, but wanted me to remind folks that a number of these markers and signage are also improving our county park system. Towpath, Black Rock Canal, Isleview, and Elk Creek Park are all getting these types of interpretive signage and Blueway access points. So it's really nice. You talk about partnerships, you know, working with the towns, working with the county, DEC, New York Power Authority, which, you know, we wouldn't be here if they didn't agree to provide that money. So again, acknowledging all the great work that's been done to date, and you know, as we look forward to next year's 20 years of the Greenway Commission and the Greenway Plan. Paul Leichner was there from day one. I remember working with Paul, and you know, as I was thinking back on the way up here, back to when the Greenway Commission and the Greenway Plan was being prepared. I'd say they had one of the best consultant teams probably ever put together to prepare that plan for state parks. And when I think back to it, the next speaker here was the project manager of that project 20 years ago. And with that, I will turn it over to Mark Estrada, who needs no introduction on the importance of the Niagara River.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I will introduce myself. I'm the Niagara Regional Director for State Parks, and the Niagara region consists of Erie and Niagara County. So we got a big territory with pretty much Beaver Island right in the center. So on behalf of Parks, I just want to welcome you here. You know, we tried to keep the press conference under wraps a little bit, but apparently the sandflies got word. I don't know how they found out, but okay, sorry about that. So thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. A pleasure to see people in our beautiful park. And you know, when you think about it, sign unveilings for the most part are not really all that exciting. You know, some people might say they're not that big a deal. People might say, okay, the investment in those could be used for other projects. I've heard that before. In this case, that's absolutely not true. You just heard from our previous speakers, especially Jill, about the importance of these markers and what they mean. It's so important for Western New Yorkers and all the visitors we have to really understand get a connection to the Niagara River, which is the lifeline of our community, and it always has been. And so to put that in a sign, to show people that, yeah, they know about the fresh water, but sometimes it's not that intuitive to understand how you use it, how you get to it, where you can go, what are the best avenues. So there's an educational component there. But also, many times understated is the environmental connection to our great river. The ecology and the environment of this water body is so critical, and these signs really allow us to educate the public, to educate our visitors, and we're very proud of that. It's so important as it impacts all of life here in Western New York. So these signs are absolutely significant. We're very proud to have them in our state parks. This is just one of the number of them. And I would like to thank the Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper for that, as well as certainly the Niagara River Greenway, the Niagara River Greenway, Erie County Buffalo Ecological Standing Committee. I also want to give a shout out to my team, John Wenner and Dave Spearing. They work hard on being stewards of what I actually think, between Beaver and Buckhorn, probably the most blessed environmentally sensitive parks we have in our whole region. So they're doing a great job being stewards of that. But finally and most importantly, I have to thank our Governor, Kathy Hochul. She has been such a staunch supporter of the outdoors, of parks in particular. And you know, this project is a perfect example of her get offline and get outdoors initiative. It's very important to her, it's very important to us. We're taking it to heart, and it doesn't get better than this. Get off your phone, start using this water, start using these parks. You know, she's also backed up her commitment through recent funding in the enacted budget with Niagara River Greenway. Their budget was bumped, and I want to actually acknowledge Jim Sharp here, the Niagara River Greenway Commission Chair. We're excited that, you know, some of this additional money will be to help the Greenway work with community to make this connection to the river and the waters of Western New York. So thank you for that. Thank you again for inviting me, and happy to see all these folks in our park. And at this point, I'm going to hand off to Grand Island Supervisor Pete Marston.
I never like to follow Marcus. He makes everybody look bad. First of all, thanks for having me here today. Grand Island's excited to be recognized in this Blue Trail Initiative. Buffalo Niagara River Keepers, along with the Greenway Commission, also New York State Parks, Erie County Planning, have all been crucial in these things coming forward. They take great strides to benefit our town of Grand Island and connect us through the Blueway to other surrounding communities. So by land and by sea, as Paul came by sea, we are being connected. We are being part of the big movement. These efforts do not go unnoticed. Within the past few years, Grand Island was able to rewrite both our master plan and our LWRP, again with help from fantastic funding. I'd like to call out Jim Sharp, Paul Lechner. You guys were very crucial in both these things. I don't know where you find the energy and the time, and absolutely mind-boggling how intricate this stuff was, but Grand Island certainly owes you a debt of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. And Michelle, you've also been outstanding in all your efforts for Grand Island. I'm lucky. We're very lucky to have these three as residents of Grand Island, so they really go to bat for us every chance they get. Oh, I lost my page. There it is. Okay. This plan has set forth the tone for Grand Island's future in ecotourism. Every improvement or upgrade like this is a piece of the puzzle for Grand Island's future. Piece by piece, we're getting it done. It doesn't happen overnight. Like Mark said, sometimes it doesn't just show up right away. But I think when all the pieces are put together, you got something pretty good going on. So again, I don't want to overshadow anybody else, but thank you very much to everybody who's been involved with it and other things. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. We'll take some questions now on topic if anybody has them.
Can you describe what exactly the plaque shows and how that relates to this area?
Sure. Well, just like the other 10 sites along the Buffalo River and the Outer Harbor, here on this Phase 2 expansion of Buffalo Niagara Blueway, you will see at various locations these wayfinding signs. It really kind of tells you where you are in the system and how to connect and what you'll see either going upstream or downstream. It's also accompanied by our website where you can do a trip planner, and you can actually go online, buffaloblueway.com, and you can map out a trip ahead of time and get directions and kind of get an understanding of what you'll see when you get there. And it all kind of works together.
And how does that help someone who is navigating the waters, whether you're from here or not,
Right.
to kind of make their trip a little smoother?
Right, sure. It's exactly that. It makes accessing the water not so scary and not so intimidating. These resources are here for all of us to enjoy and to enjoy safely. So by having these indicators and having the companion information, it makes it more accessible to the entire community.
I'm sure you could come up with 50 locations that are worth being sites, right? So how did you kind of select these 15s and limit it to these 15?
Right. We, as you know, Waterkeeper has ambitious visions for a lot of things, but you have to take it one step at a time. And the second phase was actually because of those tremendous partnerships we have within the communities, the municipalities, the state parks, the Erie County parks. All these folks that when we talk with, they're all like, yes, let's do this together. So it makes it much easier when everybody's 100% committed going in. And so we'd like to continue to expand that in the years to come. It's all, of course, funding dependent, but the more people that use our waterways, the more likely is that we can expand this in our region. Okay, I promise the flies will go away in like an hour.
As soon as we're done. As soon as we're done, they'll be gone.
Okay, yeah. Anything else? All right, thank you, everybody, and
Thank you.
congratulations.